My name is Jacob, and I will be your host for this episode of Voices of Creativity Online. Today, we have with us Elazar Del Rosario, artist and illustrator. Can you please tell us about the work that you do?
Hi, Jacob. I work mainly through the animation industry. Right now, I do a lot of illustration work, which I really enjoy doing. I used to work in video games. I worked on things for the Wii, Xbox, really fun titles. That was really cool. And now I've been wanting to do a lot of illustration work. I've always wanted to do those things, and now I kind of get to have the chance to do that.
Can you tell us why creativity is so important to you and in the work that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Creativity to me, it's really important, and I think that creativity is something that is not very narrow. A lot of people think of creativity as simply just thinking of things out of thin air. But I think creativity, in my experience, has been being able to deal with a lot of things that come up. And whether it be in art or when you're at work, and being able to figure out things that can take care of those things. A lot of it is just through experience, really. A lot of people think that they're either creative or not, because I could say that for myself. When I was growing up, I never thought that I was very creative. It was kind of a struggle for me because I was an artist. I wanted to be an artist, and creativity seemed like this thing that I wasn't going to be able to get. But I realized that creativity comes from experiencing, different struggles and different challenges. And through those challenges, that's when your creativity comes up. Most of the things that we do in art are challenges, really. We get an assignment, or even we assign ourselves some art challenges. And that's when your creativity has to be important, because in order to get through those challenges, you need to figure out ways to deal with things. Yeah, and again, I think it has a lot to do with experiencing different things. And as far as creativity, I've learned, at least from myself, as far as being creative, with learning about different styles, for example, different styles, different artists, learning from all of the things that they have learned gives me arrows for my quiver in order to deal with those challenges, for creativity.
Yeah, looking at your past work, I can tell that you're a completely creative person. And speaking of your past work, do you have a project that you really enjoyed working on?
My most favorite project was DuckTales Remastered.
Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo!
That one was, as far as animation is concerned, it was great because the people that I work with was great. I mean, I loved DuckTales growing up. When I was a kid, in the afternoon, you go home from school and you watch some Disney Afternoon, and DuckTales was a big part of that. I got to work on the video game for it, and it was really exciting because I got to do most of Scrooge McDuck's movements and other characters too. But it was just fun. It was just a fun project. It was hard. It was a challenge to make it, as good as we can. Otherwise, though, it was a really good project to work on.
Yeah, the sprite animations look extremely fluid. I think you did a wonderful job on those.
Thank you.
What was it like being an art and animation lead? Was it stressful?
Being an art and animation lead was a lot of things. The way that I ended up becoming an art lead was interesting because I was at first the only animator, or like one of the couple of animators in the studio that I was working on. And when I ended up, what happened was there was just a lot of work that started pouring in. And being there and knowing the process that they were going through, and actually kind of helping out with their processes for the company that I worked with, you kind of had to just like take over and figure out what you need to do to get things done, because there was a lot of work that came in, a lot more projects that came in, and we started hiring people. We started teaching people the new processes because right before I became an animation lead, we were animating on paper, which actually nowadays is really cool, right? To work on paper. We were doing it back then on A Boy and His Blob. That was done on paper. It's funny because back then we weren't really touting that it was done on paper. Now, if it's done on paper, it's like, wow, that's so cool. We started working on digital, and I had to basically teach people that were incoming to work on digital animation for the newer projects. For me, of course, it was stressful. It was challenging. I'm the type of person that if things come up and just needs to be taken care of, I just take care of it and get it done because I'm very passionate about working with my team. I'm a dad, so it's very natural for me to take care of my team because I consider my team like my family. Every time that I was able to become a lead, I considered them people that I have to take care of and cultivate, encourage, make them feel good about what they're doing. A lot of positive feedback. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being a lead. I learned a lot of things. It was definitely stressful, but it was worth it. You feel like you're capable of something that you didn't think, or at least I didn't think I was capable of. Once you do that, you kind of move on to other things, and the challenges get more challenging, but it's good because you improve.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a brand right now for myself for clothing and merchandise. So it's kind of a thing that I wanted to do to kind of like leave a legacy. I've always been interested in it. Actually, right before I committed to go to CalArts, I was going to go to FIDM because I was very interested in fashion and merchandising. But I decided to go the animation route. I kind of always say this: work on before I die, you know, because you get to a point in your life where you want to do things before you run out of time. I had actually worked with martial arts museum here in Southern California. I created some characters for their brand and still sell a lot of merchandise from that. And it's fun. It's fun to have like your characters be represented with a company that you like. And I'm also a big comic book fan. I do want to work on more poster art type of comic book style artwork. There's so much. Like I said earlier, there's so much in my brain that I wanna achieve, and it's just a matter of like finding the time and working on those.
Thank you so much for your time on Voices of Creativity Online. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Jacob. I really appreciate it, and it's nice to meet you.